Over there. All right, we're doing it. Everybody's doing it. Good morning, good night, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. My apologies for the way early start time broadcast on this one. Yesterday morning, today morning, whatever the hell it is. I guess that's yesterday morning at this point in time. It was. I was saying I was hoping it would be a 5 a.m. start time, but as my sleeping habits, my shitty, terrible sleeping habits kick in once again. Here I am. I find myself up just before 12:30 a.m. What you gonna do? I had a great weekend, but went over to Hinton, Alberta, to visit my in-laws, the sister-in-law and her husband. Stepdaughter also has been living there with them doing her schooling this year. So we went to go visit them and I had a great time. But my sleeping habits have been terrible for about a little week, or well, they're always terrible, but they've been a little bit worse than normal. And then getting up like 3 yesterday doing the show and then driving home. It's about a 6 hour drive or whatever home from Hinton, Alberta. We got home probably just before 3:30 in the afternoon, kind of thing. And I bet you I was in bed with the intentions of having, just a short nap there. Maybe an hour, 2 hours if I could help it. And then end up waking up at like 10:30. And it's like, oh shit, there it is. And like wide awake, like bong. So figured since I'm up for a few hours, I might as well do the show now, because otherwise I'm gonna do more dabs here, and then I'll either uh I won't the show won't get done is what I'm getting at. I'll end up trying to sleep and wait till the very last second kind of thing, and then jump up at the last second, get my ass ready for work and out the door. Show won't get done. I've missed a lot of shows in the last couple months due to life going on, a lot of work and stuff like that, working out of town and traveling during work times. And I just, since I'm up and I'm at it, man, I've really got nothing better to do. And, I do try to a lot of times in these sleepless hours, this is typical prime video editing time for me, where I frequently wake up. Not this is an extreme early for me, but it's pretty often that I'll wake up at like 2, 3 in the morning, and I work at 6:30 usually, and it's okay. You got it's a good 3, 4 hours in there that you could be getting something done. And since I got no current video projects on the go, that's not entirely true. I do have one thing on the go, but not set up for it here right now. That I could be working on. I'm like, well, fuck, let's do a live show. You guys are great. I love hanging out with the boofers. I see you in there, Pip Jam. Great to see you. Southern VT Growing. Great to see you as well, man. Coffee and Fatty. It's great to hear. Christoph, how you doing, brother? Great to see you. We're getting chilling. Hope everybody's having a great time. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I'll go into mine a little bit more since I really don't got much anything better going on right now. So as I mentioned, the daughter's been in Hinton doing some schooling, so we go hang out and have a visit over there. And I'll be honest, I was not looking forward to this trip. My in-laws, they're good people. They really are. They're just different people. Then different interests, so there's always that awkward. I'm not a conversation starter. I'm like, once if somebody else is willing to get that ball rolling, I could usually can. But if like when there's not a lot of common interests and stuff like that, I'm pretty introverted as it is. I'm not a big talker, so I'll climb right the fuck up, right? And it's just kind of, oh shit, like it's just gonna be one of those. I'm gonna be sitting there fucking looking at my phone fucking all weekend, just like, oh my god, like completely disinterested. And there's been times where her sister, I don't think she really likes me all that much, which she's always kind of not necessarily cold shouldered, but maybe dismissive. Maybe is might be. I'm not even sure that's really necessarily the word I'm looking for. And then like the only previous time we'd been over there, as I mentioned, my sleeping habits are terrible. Like 4 a.m. is sleeping in for me on a day off even. Hey, J5420, trim jail and still, eh? And wow. And I'd be awake at like freaking 3 or 4 in the morning and go downstairs and make coffee, and their dog would wake up. I love their dog. And then her sister would come downstairs and start like bitching at me for being awake at like 4 a.m. And I'm like, I can't help it. And like, oftentimes I've been laying there for a couple hours. And so then I like all of a sudden, like, I was like, oh my God, like, am I going to get bitched out for because I'm a terrible sleeper and I wake up and I can't, and it never happened. It never happened. Not once on this trip. It was actually really cool. Everything was calm, and it was conversation was a lot more flowing and easily started, maintained, and all that good stuff. It was really cool. I gotta admit there was no negativity or anything close to it at any point in time during the weekend, or at least I didn't sense any. So yeah, it was like yeah, it was. I like it when you get the unexpected happens in the good ways like that, right? Like usually when unexpected happens, it's when you're in the middle of having a great time, and then all of a sudden it's fucking fucking out of nowhere you get blindsided with the oh shit, oh shit, oh shit type stuff. So let's do a dab for I'm about 4 dabs in right now to in the last probably 45 minutes or so. And I got another couple lined up, but if I feel like I'm at the point now where I'm so fucking high where if I keep doing dabs here on the show, I got to take time to stop talking so I can heat the torch and do all that shit. But also, I might just go straight catatonic on you guys. So I'll save it for the last dab. You know what I mean there. How was everybody's weekend? Did you guys have a great weekend too? I really hope everyone did, man. I like to hear about the good times. And what are y'all smoking on? Um, this dabs that I got right now, we stopped in Jasper, which is like a personal law that I don't break. Actually, I've never broken in my ever. I've never been in there. I have this thing where Jasper National Park is a beautiful place to drive through, but it is also a national park and tourists are everywhere. And while I'll be the first to admit well, living in mountains and seeing beautiful mountain landscapes on a near daily basis, I believe I get jaded by a lot of this natural beauty, wondrous nature sort of stuff. And people that have never seen it before, this is completely awe-inspiring stuff, and I get that. But do we really have to be standing in the middle of a fucking highway taking pictures? Can we not get off to the side at least? You are in the middle of a highway. And I just like, what are people thinking? Like, I just, there's, and I this is an extreme case, and this is the only time it's ever been this bad. Although it is very common to have like 1 or 2 people standing in the middle of a fucking highway taking pictures of mountains, or there'll be an animal in the middle of the highway. We've got to get as close to this thing as possible because let's approach a wild animal, right? That's a good idea, right? Um, but anyways, I come around a corner and there's a big group of people. That had to be like 30, 40 people at least standing in the middle of the highway. And like instantly after, oh shit, people in the highway, you're like, oh my God, it must have been an accident. You're like, oh, like, I hope everybody's okay. Like you're about to get out of the car, see if you can help or whatever like that. And then also thinking, well, fuck, how long are we going to be stuck here now if it's a traffic accident? But as you get closer, people start partnering, like kind of like letting you through, and there's a fucking elk standing in the middle of the highway, and people are fucking less than 8 feet away from this thing. And I'm just like, oh, like this is not safe, not smart, and all that, and like. And there's signs all over the place saying like don't approach animals, it's unlawful to approach them, it's unlawful to feed them and all that stuff. And just so anyways, that the tourist frustration is my thing with but my thing with my beef with Jasper, I guess. But we actually went into the town. But when you drive through, you wouldn't even know there was a town there if there wasn't signs and a few streetlights to point you in that direction. Right? You're pretty well highway. It's off the highway and hidden. Good morning, Archie. Great to see you. So morning dew, that is one that I have never tried yet. I would have wanted to get my hands on. Actually, and I had some beans, but I ended up giving them to another buddy of mine. That was he had mentioned that he was looking for it at one point in time, and I knew that he would get to it before I could. So it was, but that's one that at some point in time I still very much would like to get to. Anyways, the whole Jasper story where I'm getting to here is we get this blueberry. Fuck, I can't even remember what it was now. Blueberry something hash or not hash shatter. I guess a little hash BHO. And it was pretty damn good. From a local place or local-ish done it up in Alberta. Quite enjoyed it, and so that's what I've been. We're just about out of it now, which is kind of sad to me. And then on when we got there, it had been occurred to us that someone hadn't brought any weed, and then I'm the driver, so that's not necessarily my job. I'm going to take that stance. If I got to do the driving, I can't do the rolling. Correct. That's how I'm going to look at it. So we get there, and we only had 2 joints for the entire trip there. But luckily, I stopped at the dispensary in town here to grab some shatter for the ride home. Shatter's very travel convenient, so that's why I like shatter for traveling. And anyways, yesterday when we're farting around in Hinton, we go to I can't even remember what the dispensary name was, and it doesn't matter because this is a product review that we're doing right here, not a dispensary review. So the lady at the dispensary was, I don't know, she was nice and tried to be helpful. She didn't go right to the THC percentage, which I actually appreciate that. I went in there and said, hey, I'm looking for roughly $100 ounce, give or take, a few bucks. And, she went right to that kind of price point. Didn't say shit about THC percentages until a few minutes into the conversation kind of thing. And there was a few different ones that we were looking at. And she recommended this one from Back 40, and it's called Panda Puffs. I don't know if I can read that up in there. And the selling point on this one was she was saying it had like hints of peanut butter in it. And I was like, okay, because peanut butter breath, that truly did have hints of peanut butter in it, and it was potent, strong, and I was a big fan of that one. So I was like, okay, I can get down to something along those lines. And let's see if I can take out a few of these fucking nugs here. Do you ever have trouble getting into these fucking bags? All right. Let's see. So, and we got an assortment of tiny little dry shit nugs like this, and it is reasonably potent. I will give it that. I was smoking this during this morning's wake and bake show, and I think I dropped that. Oh no, it was on my lap. I thought it hit the deck. And you know what? I was high. I was high as shit this morning. I will give it that. But it's dry as shit. And when talking to our resident expert, Mrs. Jibe, this morning, she said that this Back 40 brand here, they're kind of apparently I don't know, famous isn't the word, but known for having kind of dried out shitty product and like shake it in the bag and it sounds just dried up, and so that is something to consider. As I've been in a position in the last couple months where I've been buying more and more dispensary weed just because the way I hit that gap in my grow, there's about a 3-month gap in harvests. I want to say maybe even a little bit longer. I've got about 2 more weeks, I figure, until I harvest those acid diesels in Nakatomi Plaza. I was hoping I could take them at 8 because it would really be nice to smoke our own weed for a change. But I was in there as soon as I got home today, and it was there's at least 2 more weeks, maybe even a little bit farther. We'll just have to see, unless they all of a sudden they just like decide take that turn and decide nope, we're done. I think we're looking at a minimum 2 weeks, but it is what it is. You can't rush quality, for the most part, right? So yeah, what's next? Thank you for that, Tara. We appreciate that. She's right. You what we've actually there's a thing that Fluff and I we're gonna start talking about here real soon, possibly next Sunday. But we're in the act of actually trying to raise a bunch of funds for a good friend of ours, and right now the Buy Me a Coffee is we're using that as our donation source for them. So if just the mystery long and short of it is that Buy Me a Coffee is we're using that to go help a good friend in need, a member of the cannabis community. And you know what, with that kind of suspense, my apologies for that. It wasn't ever meant to lead people on or build any kind of suspense over this at all. It's just that I blurted shit out, and Fluff's not here to talk about it with me. So so we'll get that out. The details in for next Sunday. We'll let you know about that one. But it's going to go to that money will be saved and going to a good cause there. Now another good cause with the Patreon is we've got a big deal going on in Niagara Falls. The August long weekend, August, which would be August 2nd to 5th or something like that, up in Niagara Falls here in Canada. I don't know, some people calling it Booth Camp North. I've been calling it the Niagara Falls trip, but basically here it is. I've already got my tickets to go see Green Day and Rancid in Toronto on August 1st. And I'm like, it has become increasingly apparent to me. I didn't realize we had such a big following in Ontario. I knew we had G Bay and we got like Green Widow. I see you in there. Cheers. Jay Patrick and a few others, but there's a whole bunch of people in Ontario, and Southern Ontario all doesn't seem too far apart from each other geographically. So I'm like, shit, if I'm going to go out for a concert, I want to meet a whole bunch of people out there. So Jeep starting with G-Bay, right? And we started throwing this idea, and it's like, okay, but if I go out to Toronto for a concert, I also got to bring my family because that's just the way it is. I don't, I can explain more, but I don't necessarily think I need to. It's just I am family oriented, and I think you guys have noticed that. I always want them to be with me doing cool shit because I didn't get to do cool shit with my family when I was young. And so I started thinking Niagara Falls is right fucking there. And we got Niagara Falls is right at the fucking border, and there's a lot of people that can cross the border. Unfortunately, there's a lot of boofers that can't. I'm hoping to have a passport by then. So if there's people south of the border, maybe we can get in and say hi to a few people. But my understanding is the Canadian passport office is dead fucking slow. So we might not be so lucky on this one. But anyways, there's going to be we're getting together in Niagara Falls for some sort of fucking shit show shenanigans. We're gonna let the hopes. Yeah, we might, like I said, things could change between now and then. But we're right off the bat, we're hoping to rent out some kind of camping area that has cabins. Some people need running water, proper beds and shit like that. Some people got no problem tenting it. I'll be one of the tenters probably if I'm going out there. And just it's good. Like I said, it's got to be a family friendly area, but there's going to be a shit ton of weed smoked as well. Believe you me, and I'm really looking forward to it. As I say, like every show, I try to point out live chat and our supporters, and thank you all. Truly from the bottom of the heart, it means the world to us. Cannabis drivers, cheers, see you in there. We start off doing this show kind of looking for friends to talk about growing weed with and hoping that there would be people in the live chat. And that has definitely come. And here you guys are, even just about 1 a.m. You're sitting here fucking hanging out with me. on an unannounced show to boot. I wasn't supposed to be doing this for like another 4 hours. Salt and sea seeds, and then anyways, you start to develop relationships. These names that I see scrolling up, they become personal relationships and people that you develop genuine feelings for, that you care about. And when you guys have things going on in your life, it affects us up here. And this is one thing that I cannot state enough to me, is that if you support me and what we're doing here, I want to meet you. I want to be able to shake your hand. I'm old fashioned. I believe in the power of shaking someone's hand, look you in the eyes, right? And good old fashioned bear hug too, because I ain't got no, I'm all about the hugs and shit too. Because it really does mean the world to me. We're 3 years into doing this now. Cheers, 2 cents. What you doing up this late, you old fucking fart? On their way to the bedroom or bathroom, probably for like their 30th time tonight. I got a tinkle. Ooh, Cariboo's on. Cheers, brother. I love you. But anyways, so if anyone's gotten the chance to make it to Niagara Falls for August long weekend, once again, it's like August 2nd to the 5th, man. I'm going to be there. G-Way's going to be there. Fluff said he's going to try and make it up there. I've seen Colton at one point say he's going to try and make it out. So it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of people. Blue Kisses even said she'll come up for this one. So we're like, yeah. And another fun fact of this one. So I'm like I said, I'm there to see even without this event going on. I'm already going to be in Toronto to go see Green Day and Rancid. And last week, Sammy Hagar announced that he's going to be playing in Toronto at the Budweiser stage, which is not late, the day before the Green Day Rancid show. And so I'm a huge Sammy Hagar fan. I love his pre-Van Halen stuff with like Montrose, his solo stuff. I love his stuff in Van Halen. I also love his post-Van Halen stuff, his Chicken Foot, Sammy Hagar in the Circle. Like, dude, I'm a fan. But when they mentioned that they're going to try and focus a lot on Van Halen stuff, I'm like, holy shit. Like, OMG, OMG, OMG. It's not Eddie Van Halen playing. Unfortunately, I'll never get the chance to see him, but to see Sammy up there playing a lot of really cool songs. So I'm hoping to get tickets to that whenever payday rolls around. Hopefully there's still tickets available. And that would just be amazing. He's already put the word out to Alex Van Halen, Eddie's brother, the drummer, and David Lee Roth, that they are more than welcome to join him on this tour. And I have a sneaking suspicion it ain't going to fucking happen. Too many egos involved, sort of thing. But how cool would that be if they end up taking him up on it? All of a sudden, you get Dave and Sammy out there doing all the fucking Van Halen classics, man. That would be wow. That would be super cool right there. Like I said, not too expectant on that one, but hey, what if it did happen? That would be pretty badass. So yeah, it's another reason for me at least to be looking forward to this trip to the Toronto Niagara Falls weekend in August, late July, August, because the Sammy show is July 31st, I believe. Green Day's playing the first. Sorry, one sec, you don't want to hear this. See, now I'm just like a bunch of y'all live chatters. Elbow cough. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I'd like to try and maybe rip a couple more dabs and lay down for a couple hours before I got to get up and go to work. My apologies again for not being live at about 5 a.m.ish like I figured it'd be. But I figure coming in way early is better than no show at all. It is what it is. Thanks again, y'all. Really appreciate it. You know what time it is. We're going to bless your souls. Some rock and roll. We're going to get the fuck out of here. Cheers. right, you know what time it is. One more rip for the road. As always, this one's for me, but here's to you, the motherfucking Booth crew. I love you all. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a safe week. We'll see you tomorrow night. We got Brad from Raw Genetics going to come hang out with us. Cheers, y'all. Dabba, 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 dabba. That's all, folks.